Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? So I was in the 5:30 slot, 5:30 p.m., and I was like, oh man. Then they moved me to this slot. I was excited at first, and then I was like, oh man, they put me right before lunch, but I'm not right before lunch. So I am not the person that's preventing you guys from eating, so I feel really good about that. Hello, I'm Rick Lucas, head of verticals at Snapchat, and we're going to talk about wellness in the age of this friendship recession. You guys heard about this friendship recession thing? Is this like common knowledge? Now, have you heard about this? Well, it's all over the news, specifically around men. Men are losing their friends. And it's a huge problem / story because we feel like there's a lot of the outcomes that we're seeing are a result of this friendship recession. And for me, I was largely like, it's just a concept, didn't really impact me. That is until a couple weekends ago, it was my wife's birthday. We were supposed to go on a double date with her really good friend and the friend's new boyfriend. And the really good friend, her dad has a heart issue. And so she can't go to the dinner. And I could just feel my wife's eyes looking at me like, you got to find us another couple to go to this dinner with because I'm not just going to my birthday dinner with just the two of us. And it was agonizing. Because I'm like, I got friends, right? And they're in New York. They would be willing to come last minute, or at the very least, wouldn't be offended that I asked them last minute. But as it stood, I was just kind of stuck. And I thought about this chart, and I'm like, now I can identify with what this friendship recession means. In the 90s, the number of people that reported having zero close friends was around 3% in this particular survey. And in 90, the number of people that had 10 plus friends was 33%. And you can see how those numbers are changing in 2021. A lot of folks with zero friends, the number of large friends, the percentage goes way down. And a lot of people are blaming social media for this. I got mad followers on social media, but none of that helped me with my wife's birthday. So this is why you see a lot of headlines like this, and I get it. That's why it feels really good to work at a place that I feel like is genuinely impacting this. And that's because the number one reason why people go to Snapchat is to connect with their close friends. That's the number one reason why they go. So we wanted to know, how does this friendship recession thing, how does it relate to wellness? Wellness being a category where trust is, we talked about it earlier, a barrier to brand discovery. It's also a category where we are heavily reliant on our friends and those closest to us to kind of help us navigate. So we wanted to know what the impact of this was. So we conducted our largest ever research study in partnership with this company called the National Research Group. We surveyed over 1,000 adults 18 to 49 that use social media weekly, and wanted to kind of get a sense for how this friendship recession thing was impacting them. We got a lot of good insights, but really can boil it down to three main things. Number one, Snapchat was actually built for this moment in wellness. We'll talk about that. Snapchatters are really into wellness, and when it comes to wellness and trust, Snapchatters can actually help you build trust, and that's because the number one reason that they come to the platform is to connect with those that they're closest to. We'll address that in a little bit. In a little bit. But first off, what I mean by Snapchatters, or Snapchat is built for this moment. So nowadays, people view wellness a lot differently than they did a long time ago. It's a lot more complex a definition. It's no longer just about fitness or nutrition or even appearance, but now also about your mental health, right, and your spiritual health. And people are feeling really empowered to be on a personal wellness journey. It's like, really, what is wellness for me now? And Snapchatters embody that. They're way more focused on the inward instead of the outward. Our Snapchatters are 60% more likely to say that they're going to invest in wellness because of how it makes them feel versus how it makes them look. And the combination of these things really boils down to authenticity. That's what Snapchatters are looking for when it comes to wellness. So for them, it's a lot more about how wellness is going to make me feel as an individual rather than how I'm going to end up looking to you. That's not what wellness is about. So this authenticity is the reason why people come to Snapchat in the first place. Think about it. How do you feel when you're connected with the people that you're closest to? You feel pretty good. So if you're going to a place where that's the sole purpose, chances are you're going to be happy. And that's what happens with Snapchat. 91% of Snapchatters say that they're happy when they're using the app. And so that means that they associate things like wellness with positivity. And that positivity comes from this sense of like safety that they get because they're connecting with their people. And that ultimately is going to result in trust. And this idea of trust, imagine when we're hearing from Snapchatters that Snapchat is a place for them that they consider a safe space to be. That made us feel really, really, really good about what we were doing because that's why Snapchat exists. Snapchat exists solely to enhance your relationship with friends and family. If you think about your use of other social media apps, it's just not for that. But that's what this is for. And it's been like that since day one, right? There's never been a worry, if you're going to Snapchat, about being popular or perfect. Snapchat's been around for 13 years, has never had public likes or comments on the platform. So if you are going to this place where you're feeling like it's safe and you feel like you're comfortable where you can be yourself, you're going to trust it. Gen Z has ranked Snapchat the #1 most trusted brand. And what they're really saying to us is, thank you for giving me a place where I can go amid all this stuff and keep it real. And so you get all this trust, right, and all this happiness. When you combine all those things, you see that people are really more likely to experiment, be willing to try new things, try new products. And that results in Snapchatters, these are people that come to the platform every single day, being 176 more likely to purchase a product seen on social media. That's insane. But it's not just random products, it's specifically wellness products. Snapchatters spend up to 70% more per month on wellness. You can see how much they're spending on appearance. So this is the stuff that a lot of us are in here selling. Snapchatters, those that go to the platform every day, are much more likely to buy it. And the reason they're much more likely to buy it is because it just means more to them. They ranked all of those in each of these wellness categories from fitness to nutrition, mental health, appearance, and personal health. Snapchatters rank those much more important than those that don't go to the platform every day. And I'm really drawing a distinction between those that come to this environment every single day and those that don't. That's because think about it. You got an app that people specifically use to connect with their close friends. You have an app that is the most trusted brand for Gen Z, and an app where people leave happier than they were when they got there. You got to admit that in this age of social media, that's just different. So it makes sense that our audience is substantially different too. So different that 50% of those that come every day do not log into other social media platforms daily. That means that those trusting, happy folks that are more likely to buy stuff on social media, if you're not on Snapchat trying to reach them, then you're missing out on them. I'll tell you a little bit more about who they are. Hopefully I don't stay there. There we go. So they're a lot more connected. They rely heavily, 81% of Snapchatters say they rely on social media to find out about new brands. 87% of Snapchatters say that they're actually more likely to engage with a new brand on social media versus 65% of those that don't go every day. And 91% of those that come every single day are learning about new products, brands, trends through social versus 73% for those that don't come every day. And what do they do once they learn about it? They do something that's extremely unique to Snapchat. They share it with other people. Snapchat is the only platform where content is shared as much as it's viewed. And if you think about your behavior on other platforms, you can see how significant that is. But when it comes to wellness, 71% of those that we surveyed said that if they find a brand that they like, they're sharing it with their people. And it's this dynamic, going back to that first point, might be the most important thing that I share today. That dynamic is what makes people's friends and family on the app the number one source of brand discovery. That's over ads. I'm more likely to find out from my friend a product that I want to buy or a service that I want to buy on Snapchat than the ads that we show. That's how important that is, because that's the type of environment that we created. But it's not like it's a closed environment where ads can't get in. I talked about the environment that they're in and how they feel when they're in there. That creates a feeling where ads to them are less intrusive. They're less like in the way. And so that means when it comes to wellness products, they're more likely to discover and engage with those products through social. So from nutrition to fitness to mental health to appearance, Snapchatters are a lot more comfortable with connecting with the brands inside the app than people that don't go to Snapchat every single day. So ultimately, it makes sense. Advertising is the number 2 source of brand discovery on the platform. Listen, we've been talking about this for really since our existence. Like all this stuff has been there. But let's have a little bit of real talk for the advertisers in the room. None of that means anything if the ads don't work, right? If we talk about how great the audience is and all this stuff and the ads don't work, then we lose. And there was a long time where we were losing after the ATT summer of 2022. Carolyn, thank you for the shout out if she's still here. So we've always done the brand stuff really well. I think that's what she was talking about with the mirror and all the fun things that go along with that. But after ATT was released, and if you guys don't know what it is, we can talk afterwards, I think Snap decided that we knew what we were doing better than clients knew what they wanted. And we were trying to make them do things our way. And it didn't work. It actually failed really miserably. But at the end of 2022, Evan made that his number one, Evan Spiegel, our founder, made that his number one priority. Make Snapchat into a performance media juggernaut. And it's worked. Last year, CPAs for the wellness category were down 60% versus 22, which is a huge number when you think about the breadth of wellness advertisers that are on the platform. And then we were like, well, so how did we do during Cyber Week? These are some of the Cyber Week results from performance. 151% increase in medium ROAS is just insane. This is on top of 50% more revenue year over year. So my point to you all is, if you haven't tested Snapchat for performance, now is the time to do it. In fact, for every performance advertiser in this room, if you guys are willing to test with us, we will guarantee your CPA. We will guarantee it. And if we don't hit it, we'll give you 50% of your investment back. That's how serious about performance that we are. So, thank you all for giving us the time. Appreciate the conversation afterwards, and looking forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.